Hi everyone, it's July 11, 2012, 7/11/12. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. I got sidetracked a little while ago with that story about the kitten, and I'm still heartbroken about that. But I got an interesting email this morning, and it should be the last one. It's the only one. I unsubscribed. I don't even know why I got it, except I did a Schmuck Look about this thing a few weeks ago, and they're finally catching up to it. But this is from U.S. Congressman John C. Fleming, M.D., from the 4th Congressional District of Louisiana. And I'm going to read this to you, so get set here. This week, the House of Representatives will vote again on a measure to repeal President Obama's health care and taxation law. I believe the health care law jeopardizes the very liberty our founding fathers cherished. A new board of unelected bureaucrats will have the power to make decisions about the kind of health care people will receive while on Medicare. I'm one of them. That was parenthetical. But I am one of those on Medicare. The recent Supreme Court ruling also confirms the broad role the Internal Revenue Service will play in the enforcement of the health care law's provisions. You will either buy government-approved health insurance, or you will pay the tax. If you're a business owner, you will either provide government-approved health insurance, or you will be taxed per employee. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that taxes, fees, and penalties in the health care law will cost our economy more than $550 billion. And yes, John, that is a lot of money. Again, parenthetically speaking there. I came to Congress in 2009 with more than 30 years of experience as a medical doctor. If you weren't rich enough, again, parenthetical. I went to Washington to work for common sense health care reform that would lower costs. Yeah. Again, parenthetical there. While protecting the access you have to the care of your choice. I am working on legislation that would dramatically expand the usefulness of health savings accounts, one of many tools that give patients more control over health care. Effective reforms like this one can still be done, but the first step must be to repeal the president's health care law. Well, Congressman Fleming, you suck! Those big-ass health savings accounts. Who gets to control that money, dipshit? Now about this precious choice that so many of us enjoy. It's the ER or nothing, asswipe. And Congressman, I know you're not used to being spoken to like this, but let me be amongst the first to say, my balls belong on your chin. You, sir, another rich guy who's just looking out for the poor folk. You suck. You went to Washington because you got tired of not being able to write, say, 50 prescriptions for one guy? Perhaps that was it. You weren't rich enough? Maybe that was it. I would question, though, if you weren't rich enough, what kind of a doctor were you? Obviously not a very good one. I don't know any doctors who I would put in the bottom of the middle class. Hell, I don't know many doctors I'd put in the middle class, unless they're fresh out of med school. Yeah, I know you got loads and loads and tons of money to repay for those educations, but you're gonna. And this whole thing about the taxation and, the insurance, it's high time that the last supernation, us, the U.S., United States, fell in with the rest of the civilized, common sense world and said, you know what? It's time to stop making rich people and time to start caring for all the people. And that's what Obama's law is trying to do. But no, that's not good enough because I don't want to have to pay so somebody else can be well. Oh, that's so very Christian. And I do believe you're one of them, aren't you? But no, you don't believe in looking out for your neighbor. You only believe in those parts of the Bible that suit you. Like, give me some. I want some. And isn't it amazing how some then turns into all? Congressman Fleming. Let it be. The Supreme Court said, this is okay. It passes the test. It passes the muster. And, yeah, okay, there's nothing in the Constitution about this. Hell, in those days, they didn't have health insurance. You know, you gave the doctor something in kind, usually. If you were a farmer, you'd give him a lamb or a pig, maybe a jug of whiskey, because money wasn't real commonplace on the frontiers and in the early colonies. Not many people had money. You know, the stone walls here in New England, you got a penny per rod. And, you know, we're talking 3 to 4 foot high, and a rod is 16 foot long. So you got a penny per rod. Of course, these were in the days when land sold for 2 cents an acre. So you didn't have to build many stone walls. You'd go out and buy a few acres of your own and then take those stones and build your walls around it, so your cattle or sheep would only graze in that area. Duh. But again, there wasn't the health insurance. You hurt your back, you hurt your back. Most people would take the whiskey for that. Of course, now we have OxyContin, and that's probably one of the paperwork provisions you went to Washington to get rid of, because it might have been threatening your practice. I'm only surmising here, but why the hell else would a medical doctor take a downgrade in pay? Because you were surely making more than $140,000, $160,000 a year as a doctor. You just didn't want to have to provide that insurance for your receptionist, perhaps. Such freedom to be the king. You know, you ought to move to Arizona. You'd fit right in with those people too. You know, folks, it's time we got rid of all of these fun fundamentalists. They're a scourge upon the nation, and they make my gorge rise. To quote Reagan, they're so fond of Reagan, I'll quote him too. They make my gorge rise. And I want to puke on all of them. They're idiots. They're trying to take something that is good and could be good for all of us. And there, beyond anything else, is the reason these fundamentalist Republicans don't want it, is because it's good for everyone. But again, well, hell, I don't want to have to take a penny out of my purse if that's what's going to make this guy okay. That's up to this guy. That's my freedom. Mine is the one that counts. It's the only thing that counts, is my freedom to be a greedy bastard. Isn't that right, Congressman Fleming? I want y'all to think about it, because honest to God, that's what it is. That's what it really is. We're talking pure, simple greed. I got mine. Don't even think about getting some for you. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's the Schmuck Look. Peace out there.